My boyfriend rated my looks as a 4 out of 10. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. We have a great relationship and he is the man of my dreams. Or so I thought one day. He and I were having a fun conversation last night about our past intimate encounters that had happened long before we met. We were laughing and having a good time indulging in these stories that seem so distant from where we are now as people and as a couple. Well, one of the stories he told me happened a few years ago. For context, he's a cable guy who goes into people's houses to install internet and cable. One day he enters this girl's house to install whatever it is that she needs, and at the end, he asks her on a date. She says no, but you can come back and F me. And so he did. At this point of the story, I was squealing like when your best girlfriend tells you a juicy story. I was shocked for him but didn't take it to heart because that was so long ago. He was talking about the night he had with her until he mentioned that she was a 10 out of 10 looking girl. This made my heart sink. I was his girlfriend, the one he was sitting right next to and in a relationship with. Why was he calling another girl right in front of me? I decided to ask what rating I was to him in his eyes, and what he said next broke my heart. He said I was 4 out of 10 tenths. At that moment I covered my mouth and tears started to form. Now I absolutely hate crying in front of people, but the feeling is so strongly involuntary I can't even push back tears. My boyfriend realized he had effed up and tried to do damage control, but it made it worse. He said things like, no, it's not a bad thing. A 4 is really high and above average. People tell me I'm an 8 and I'm content with that. This made me cry even harder, and he continued to explain how being a 4 is good. I get up from the couch and tell him I'm going to bed. He pleaded with me not to go, but eventually followed me into our room. I tried composing myself, but he kept trying to get me to hug him and it was annoying me. I had to put my hand on his chest to keep him at a distance since I didn't want to be hugged at that moment. To me, my boyfriend is a solid smoking hot 10 and I am lucky to have him. Whether he's thin, muscled out, or gains weight, the score in my head never changes. He would always be a 10 for me. Ever since that day, I can't help but think that he settled for me. At least that's how I truly feel about my partner. Deep down, I felt like he settled for me. I can't help but feel emotionally and mentally withdrawn. It took so long for me to feel comfortable and think he does think I'm beautiful. He does find me attractive and he does love me. But all that mental work has been deconstructed. I don't feel secure anymore and I don't want to be touched.